Hey guys, Michael Haidt here. Just a quick note. We are going to be starting this book, Fierce Intimacy by Terry Real. For episode 10, we're going to ask that if you want to join us to talk about this discussion, that you get through the first half of the book. So the book is divided into different lessons, different parts. So that's part 1 and part 2. Get through the first half of the book by Terry Real, Fierce Intimacy. I listened to mine on Audible. Typically speaking, you can get an Audible free credit here or there if you sign up. There might be one way to do it. You could probably look it from your library. But I believe it's only in audio format. So something that maybe you want to check out. And without further ado, we're going to jump right in the show. This week in Ahead of Parents, we're talking all about the first and likely most stressful parenting discussions, naming a baby, without starting a family feud and feeling good about your choice. From grandparents lobbying for family names to friends calling dibs on their favorites, choosing a name can feel like hosting a peace summit with your entire contact list. Everyone has opinions, everyone's sure they're right, and somehow you still can't agree on whether you want something timeless or something no one's ever heard before. We'll talk about the pressures, the pitfalls, and stories behind picking up baby names, the one that caused arguments and the ones that stuck, and the ones that got vetoed in under 5 seconds. Because naming a baby isn't just about what sounds cute on the birth certificate, it's about identity, legacy, and learning to trust your gut even when others might not approve. Because in Hey the Parents, it's an honest discussion about raising kids. I'm Michael Haidt.
I'm Sarah D.
And I'm Mike Levine.
Kids don't come with a handbook, so we need your help.
Where do babies come from?
Where do you think they come from?
Is this a kissing book?
Mama! Mama!
What?
Hi.
I learned it by watching you.
There are no rules in this house. Not like a regular mom. I'm a cool mom.
We sent them to the best boarding schools. We hired the best nannies. We did everything right.
Hey, Mom! The meatloaf!
No drinking, no drugs, no kissing, no tattoos, no piercings, no ritual animal slaughters of any kind.
Together, we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
This is Hey Other Parents, an honest, messy, imperfect show for raising kids.
Hey, welcome back. It's us again.
What's up? We are back.
Good morning.
Toodly-doo.
Toodly do.
Man, you know, it really is like
Toodly.
we did shift. We were recording this podcast. I think in season 1 we were recording and I think last season we were recording in the evening on Wednesdays.
Oh, yeah.
And we were like, you know what? This is just not going to work out. So we shifted to Sunday mornings, and honestly, it actually is kind of fun, and it works out really well because it kind of stays quiet for the most part of the house. Unless your 6-year-old comes downstairs looking for, your spouse who's still in bed, but they won't look there. They're looking everywhere else. They think that you're my wife left the house somehow. But no, I'm just look in bed. So after 5 mini discussions, I found my wife who was in bed. But we're here, we're doing it, and I think that this works for us. So we hope it works for you. But anyway, so whether you're in the car, folding laundry, cooking dinner, getting organized, or on the go, we know that you have a lot of choice for podcasts out there. So thank you for listening to ours. And of course, we'd like to send a big welcome to our new moms and dads listening. A big hearty hello to the returning listeners who are back to put up with us for yet another episode in season 3 of Hey the Parents. If this is your first time joining us in this podcast, it's a chance for a few of us parents who decided that we needed to join our efforts together and try to get through raising kids, as we call it, a survival course. We pick a different theme, a different topic each week. We discuss it from the standpoint of when we were younger, growing up with our own parents, and then we shift it over to now as adults, where we certainly did not get a handbook for our own kids. We talk about what we go through, we share some of our experiences, and we learn from each other. And every week, we feel a little bit better because we have each other and we have all of you. So we'd like to hear from you guys, a little bit of the theme of the episode. The question this week is, what baby name arguments did you have, and how did you solve them? If you'd like to answer this question, have comments, question for the show, you can get in touch with us in one of 3 ways. 1, you could leave a message on our Hey the Parents voicemail line. 2, you could email the show, or 3, you could join us on social media. All the information is in the show notes. So we're going to pause the episode right now before we get going and tell us your baby name struggles.
Yeah, I lost. There was no struggle. I just lost.
We'll have plenty of time to hear about that. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into the main part of the podcast, and that entails a topic of the week. Sarah D, what are we talking about today?
All right. So, with the excitement of announcing a pregnancy also comes the excitement of announcing the name of your bundle of joy and all the fun, or not so much fun, that comes with it. So that we're going to hash it out today and talk about it.
This is going to be an interesting one because I think we have so many different, personalities with our families and the idea of some of us decided to keep like, the gender secret, or some people decided to find out, and maybe that impacted it. Some of us watched a lot of TV and movies and are strong with the Force. So there's a lot, there's a lot to shake out for this one. So this is gonna be kind of wild. Maybe just a quick little kind of like intro to the situation. I just want to bring up something that was absolutely ridiculous. My wife, I haven't thought about this in a while. So we were talking about this episode. I remember that we were on the way to the hospital for Jacob, and my wife and I are driving. It was, her water broke. It was like really like the middle of the night, and we're driving, and we get to a red light, and we're about, I don't know, I'd say we're probably like 5 minutes or so from the hospital, and your heightened sense of emotion, like lots of going on. I remember like I set off the car alarm, got the door, I forgot my wife's shoes, went back into the house. So this is, it's just crazy. So anyway, so we're in the car and we're about pretty close to the hospital. And my wife suddenly decides she wants to change the idea for Jacob. And she decides that she's like, maybe Zachary would be good. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, yeah, I can do it. Like, at the moment we're just like, let's just, protect the wife, protect the baby, whatever. So we're sitting there, and as a light, still red, and I start like mouthing the whole name, and I was like, wait a minute, we can't call him that. The middle name we decided is Morris or Morrison. He's gonna be Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell. I cannot go down. So I almost went really, really big into cultural situations, which is like some of the things we're going to talk about this episode, obviously, with like the way that culture impacts names. But that one was unintended, but it could have been ridiculous having a child named Zach Morris.
That's awesome.
But who am I to say? All right. So anyway, let's jump into this one. Maybe Mike Levine. I think we alluded to it. How did I'm just curious. How did it go down? Because I love that your hobbies and interests and things of your family. I think it's killer. And lots of people, lots of personalities. How did it all come to be?
Well, with the first pregnancy, it's always the first is always like different, right? Because you're just like, oh my God, what am I going to name my kid? What's it going to be? Similar to the other pregnancies and stuff, but it's just like the first is the first, right?
Yes.
So the name choice is always crucial on the first one, and all of them, yes. But we had, the boy and the girl name, but we didn't know I was having a son until later on. But I knew I wanted my firstborn son to be named Michael, actually, like after me.
Thank
you. And like that that instilled the war, because my wife was like, no, our child needs his own identity. He doesn't, he can't be, similar to you.
I get it.
And I I understood that, but so I started coming up with names, and of course, I'm a big Star Wars fan, and I wanted to do Luke, right? And then I got the instant no to that one too. I'm like, man, I keep striking out here. Then I was like, well, I want something with Star Wars. So, of course, I came up with George Lucas, not George Lucas the name, but I thought of George Lucas, and I came up with just Lucas, and she loved it. So it was a win.
So it worked out. Wait, was the girl name going to be a Star Wars name also?
No, so the girl name was like totally like out of the box different, and I think it was like Amber or something like totally different. Or what was the other? What was it?
I think you're lying. I think it was a color of a kyber crystal.
I think it was Piper.
Wow, that's a sweet name.
Yeah, totally different. I don't know. What about you, Sarah? What was your firstborn crazy story? I'm sure.
Oh, God. It actually wasn't so crazy. It was more like, we're thinking about names and things of that nature. And we didn't know if Sophia was going to be a boy or girl, because it was going to be a surprise. And I don't know why I fell in love with the name Thaddeus for whatever reason.
I love the name.
I want my son to be named Thaddeus. And Gene was like, ew, no. He's like, what is that? Like from like the 1800s? And I was like, but I love it. And then, so that definitely got kibosh like right away with Sophia. And then Sophia was more after Sophia Loren, because that was like my dad's.
Oh, nice.
Actor.
That's cool. Yeah.
And she was beautiful. So I was just like, my daughter will have this beautiful name after this beautiful actress.
That is.
But like, that was it. But then years later, there was, I forget his name. Well, the last name. Thaddeus something in the NBA. And I was like, see, Gene? I was like, look at that. I was like, not so old school anyways. I was like.
Right. Don't even
like,
tell me about who you pick for your lineup, because it better not be that one.
Right, exactly. It better not be Thaddeus. So, yeah, that was my first naming child. What
I kind of like the sound of that. Like the way it like, I know it sounds like a weird thing to say, but the way it sounds in your mouth, like it's kind of like a good flow to it.
Yeah, I kind of like Thaddeus.
That's why I kind of liked it. I was like, Thaddeus. I don't know where I got that from. I would probably get some baby book.
It does sound like a literary kind of like a character or something that you maybe would read.
Yes. Yes. Like, Thaddeus and Emily took a stroll.
Right. Like you're almost picturing like this this picturesque like Facebook picture of like this family who's just gonna take a nice walk in a park, and everything looks right. No one's arguing. Like Thaddeus is the version of reality that doesn't exist. Right?
Because young Thaddeus is there,
Oh,
I felt like it was so regal, but I guess not.
Oh, he's
maybe my grandkids.
That's right. That's so funny in this episode. Like all the things we're talking about are like, hey, grandparents are going to get involved and they're going to start making opinions. And we're like, well, where we're going to try again. Oh man. So I feel like this whole thing is like, it's just a wild experience. And like just Sarah kind of referenced it like a baby name book. It's like, there's so many ways and things that kind of influence the decisions. And like one of those things is literally baby name books. And I don't know if you guys had that experience, but I don't know if we got it secondhand or like, because like, once you use your names, you get kind of done with the book. But, I remember like we had these like books, and what a daunting experience that is. Those books are huge, man. Like it was like, I mean, like, can you imagine like publishing a book and all just list names? Like, that must have been a lot of work for the company. But, but it's like, I mean, like I remember this book must have been like 3 inches at least thick, and it was just lists and lists and lists of names.
Yes.
And I remember that was like almost like it gets like you get, because you sort of like shut down after a while. You're looking at too many.
There's so many names, like you would be like astounded to like read like different variations of names, like spelling or like things that are like close to each other, like Sarah, Sarai, Sarah with an H, and like
and then they would have like male names, female names, like non-binary names, and then like they also have like the meaning.
The funny thing is that with Elliot, Taylor wanted like kind of unisex names, and Elliot was a name that she settled on, and I really wasn't fond of in the beginning, and when we named her, like getting her social security and everything, like it was a nightmare because like they confused her gender, they confused the spelling of her name, and I had to like go back and forth. And I'm like, you see, Taylor, I just wanted a nice, straightforward, like female name like Ashley or something. But it can be difficult sometimes when you have names that can kind of like, go both ways or whatever.
Yeah, that's definitely good. I can see that. I mean, even something as simple as Noah, as ridiculous as it sounds, when we were, after you have the baby, they usually come around and like for the birth certificate purposes, I ask you about the name. So the nurse, who was great, I think it was just a misunderstanding. She was like, "Oh, did you guys pick out a name yet?" And I was like, "Noah." She's like, "Oh, well, let me know when you come up with it." I'm like, wait, did she just hear me say no? Like, no, it's Noah.
No,
can you believe that?
The name.
Well,
Still laughing about that. Like, it's like ridiculous. Like for us, there's also like, like there's also like a religious aspect to it too. Not so much like being religious, but just different religions and cultures have different like ways they go about it. But typically speaking, for us, like being Jewish, you're not supposed to name kids after living people. So like if someone's still alive, then you can't use that name. And that typically more is involved in like their Hebrew names than their English names. But even still, like it's kind of almost like a faux pas to do that.
Right.
So like
Gotcha.
some people will do is like they'll use like the first letter, which is kind of odd too, because then like my parents did that. Like my dad is Merrill, which he hates his name, and then my sister's Melissa and I'm Michael. My mom is Cheryl. I guess it's the M in mom. I don't know. She gets screwed out of it. But the the whole thing of trying to figure out what to name kids, like that's one way to do it. But like for us, I think we were just kind of like pick names that we really liked, and then we did something where the middle name is kind of how we honored people. So like my grandparents for Jacob, Ethan were like my dad's mom. Sorry, that's not right. My dad's dad, and then my mom's dad were how we kind of arrived at like the middle names, which is how we almost ended up having a Zach Morris. And then for Noah, my great uncle was really a cool dude. They lived next to my grandparents in Florida, so we used to go there and he used to like play fiddle and stuff. And he was just like really nice, just like a really good dude. So we really wanted to honor him. So that's kind of how we did it. And then my wife used her family was a little bit more for the Hebrew names and how we kind of went about that.
Yeah, and you know what's like interesting is the stories that like occur when you are trying to come up with a name. Like for instance, what you said in the beginning when we started, like you guys were driving to the hospital. Now I remember like driving to home from a vacation. We were, I think it was like one of the water park Great Wolf or Kalahari or something. And then we're just like talking about the name of Elliot and how we were going back and forth and just how like this conversation just strikes up out of nowhere. And it kind of makes it special. Like, these little stories of just like these trips of how you arrived at the name. And I don't know, I just find that interesting. Like you never know what name you'll settle on, but or what story would occur for that name. But when you do settle on that name, you remember how you got there, Do
you ever feel like, you guys ever feel like when you, like, that's part of it for me, but do you ever feel like in a way, like the personality of the person you're naming them after, like you kind of want to see that in the kid, like you're like,
yes,
like in a weird way, like, you know what I mean? Like the name is not just the name, it encompasses like the person. So you're kind of like hoping like a little bit of that personality gets in there somehow, which is like kind of silly in a sense, but like in a way, like in your head, like,
But it's so true because like with Sophia, like, so when Jean and I were deciding like names, Jean was like, okay, you're going to choose the first name for this kid and I'll choose the middle name. And then he was supposed to pick the first name of like Julian and then I choose the middle name, but I'll tell that story in a second. Anyway, so
let me tell you how things went down.
So what you call it? No,
he lost.
We tried. No, he didn't lose. He actually won in some ways. But so Rosemarie, Sophia's middle name is Rosemarie, and Jean's mom, her name was Roseline, and my mom is Maria del Carmen. So we're like, oh, okay. So we got the Rose from her name, and actually, Jean's mom also is Marie Roseline, and then her last name. So we're like, perfect, Rosemarie, because then like the Marie part will be like for both moms,
right.
Rose, so we're like perfect, and she's beautiful like a rose. And I was just Googling what rosemary means, and it's like bitter rose.
Oh, really?
And Sophia means wisdom, and I was like, that explains a lot with Sophia.
That's so funny.
Because she is wise, but she is Mike Levine and I, we bond over the fact that our daughters are cheerleaders.
Oh, man.
And,
yes.
Different age groups, though, which is, And Jean and I always
same
say
hard
this.
life, though.
Yes, same hard life. So it doesn't get better, parents of cheer children. I was like, but Sophia's like the Wednesday Addams of cheer. She is like, of all the cheerleaders, everyone's smiling, bright and happy and enthusiastic. And then there's Sophia like, go team.
Like not blinking, staring now.
Yeah, just like she is like, I don't know why. I mean, she does all the things that she needs to do, but it's just, she always says she's having a good time, but she's concentrating on her dance moves. Because Sophia's really there for the flips. She wants to flip. She wants to do all the stunts. Not like the cheer part, like the happy, like, yay.
She's got like all the acrobatics. Like she totally can handle that stuff. That's awesome.
Yes, so that's what she's there for, you know. But the cheering part, we're always like, why is she so bitter Rose?
It's so funny. You made me think of like, do you remember the Three Amigos? Where like what a weird reference when they were like, you know, because like whatever the Three Amigos, they think of like when they're reading the telegram because they're gonna go save the town. They think it's like infamous is more than famous. They're like, you're so famous, you're infamous. Like it's almost like the meaning. You're like, oh God, this is actually true.
Yes. And then like, and then we were like, you know, because Jean's mom, you know, was such a wonderful woman. We're like, okay, you know, she's gonna like embody that. And then like, my mom's a little on the tougher side, so she, and like, I guess she got more of the Carmen part.
Yeah, right. It's, yeah. You may have tried, but let me tell you what's really going down here.
We tried, man. We tried to set her up. You know, male change.
Can I ask, did you guys like the secrecy? I just want to talk about the secrecy for a second. Like,
yes.
100%.
When you came up with a name, like, what did you do to keep the secrecy? Because, you know, everybody's asking about it, right?
Yo, I just kept my mouth shut. Like, and then for me, yo, listen, that is not easy for me because I'm just like, I'm like a very like, you know, I just love to talk to people. I love to like, you know, hear people think, you know, whatever. I was like, I just knew. Like nothing good is gonna happen if I like it's so funny of like all the things in life. This is like one of those things of like not telling anyone that your spouse is pregnant and not telling anyone the name once the people know that they're pregnant. Like holy gosh,
oh yeah,
I would refuse, man. Like it was. I think I came up with a ridiculous name, like you know whatever it was, like. Whatever I said, I don't remember. It was like Britney Spears, whatever it was. I would react with something that was like not true, you know, just because. You know, just to avoid it, because in fact, that actually was helpful to have something in your head that was ridiculous, because this way you always had something to go back to in your head if somebody started asking you. Like this way you wouldn't slip up, you know? Yeah. So like, you know, if you were like Turtle or something, you know, whatever. So like, you know, it was something that, you know, you could say this way, like people, you know, apparently now I'm back to Lisa Turtle. Why are there so many references to Saved by the Bell here actually? Oh my God. Just was a screech, right? But
Let's see,
no.
How many more can you do for the rest of the episode?
Yeah, did you guys seriously? I know I'm like AC Slater was not. No. Oh, something ridiculous too. Total side note. We'll definitely want to go back to the secret thing, but we realized in the process that Noah, if for some crazy reason, I was like, we don't usually have hyphenated names or anything, but Noah Aaron Height. If he had an O in there somewhere, his initials would have been Noah and his first name would have been Noah, which is insane. But
wow.
Oh man.
Can you imagine?
There's still time.
I don't know. This kid, like, what's there a point to mess our kids up? But yeah, no, did you I remember what it was. To keep it secret, I used to lie to people and say that I'm trying to I knew this would never be the case, but I tell people that I argued my wife and I was trying to have the kids named Farron. So it'd be Fahrenheit. That's what it was. So I would tell people Farron. Farron would be the
I remember this.
Yeah, or Freda.
Actually, it's a really nice name, Farron. You know,
right.
I totally supported the Fahrenheit.
I know. Like it would have to be a middle name because you have a gap in the middle, right? But yeah, no. Yeah, but how about you guys? How do you keep it secret?
So Gene, for Julian, Gene is obsessed. He loves sports, all that stuff, you know, and he loves LeBron James. So like for us to keep our like name secret or whatever and like not spill the beans, Gene was like, even up to the baby shower, he was like, oh, we're gonna name him Jabron. Because like we told everyone that we're gonna do the J name, and they're like, "No way, you can't do that to that kid." We're like, "No, Jabron." Like, Sarah, for real? I was like, "No." I'm like, Jabron's a great name. We're gonna name the baby Jabron. Like
Jabron Lames.
Yes. And everyone like bugged out. They were like, "No way, you cannot set this kid up with this name or whatever." So everyone's still like Jabron.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah, that was our fake name. I can't remember, to be honest with you, with Sophia. I think we just kind of like the biggest secret was the baby's gender. We didn't know. So that I think overshadowed the naming, in a lot of ways.
I think like too though, but when you're keeping the gender secret, because the name obviously could be indicative of like what the gender is in most cases, you sort of like keep it under wraps easier maybe, just because like you're trying to not tell that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like the main point of keeping it secret is, one, you don't want anybody to know, right? Like, because it's like your family thing, but you also want to like not have anybody steal it, right? You don't want anybody else to take your child's name. And literally that's what happened to us, and we couldn't believe it. Hayden, when she was being born, we were at the hospital and we're in the room, Taylor's sleeping, the basic setup for what's going on with the baby, right? And I'm just sitting there, minding my own business, watching my newborn baby sleep and my wife sleep, and I'm just looking at Facebook, and there it is. A person that I went to high school with had a child on the same day as me, hours, maybe an hour later, right? And releases the name of his child on Facebook. And it's like, oh, welcome to the world, Hayden Rose. And I'm like, what are the odds that your child not only has the same first name, but the same middle name too?
Shut the front door, really?
Yes, Hayden Rose, and then whatever his last name was, and then Hayden Rose. And I didn't release my name on Facebook. He did. So now it's going to look like he got it first, and I copied him, and I'm like, oh my God, I mean, I really don't talk to the guy anymore, and he was from high school, but still, what? This is why we keep it a secret,
That is crazy.
Or all suddenly, someone gets a new puppy and their dog's now, whatever.
Yeah.
Thaddeus.
I'll never forget that. It was crazy. I was like, this can't be.
Oh, man.
Wait, random question, though, with Elliot's name. Do you call her Missy Elliott? I would.
Oh, that would be amazing.
That would be my nickname for her all the time. I'm like, Missy Elliott, get over here.
I should.
I love a nickname. I don't know why.
I know.
Missy Elliott, don't be getting your freak on.
Right, exactly.
This thing is automatic.
Can you stand the rain, Missy Elliott?
Don't be working it. Stop now. There's no gossip post.
Next time I get to the pleasure of seeing Elliot, that is what I'm going to be calling her.
Oh my God, you gotta.
I dare you to go rat-a-tat.
Do you go rat-a-tat-tat?
I knew it. I was like, I sort of half committed to the joke, and I didn't actually say it the right way. Thank you for pulling it.
Anyway, sorry, that was on my brain as you're talking. I was like, wait, but does he call Elliot Missy Elliott?
This is why we're dangerous, because Sarah and I will continue. That could have very well gone on for 10 more minutes.
Yes, it could have. Don't behave.
Oh man, this is crazy to think how there's so many components: the secret, the names, the offending people. But I think the thing too is I think I watched at work. I remember seeing. I think it must be at work. I remember someone saying the name and kind of hearing them talking about the reaction from their family. And that was enough to be like, oh, definitely keep this under wraps. Because no, listen, this is good training in life because number one, you're never going to make everyone happy, especially your kids at dinner time. So revealing what you're having for dinner when your children get a little bit older, it's the same as telling people their names. They're never going to be happy. So just keep it secret. Never. Keep dinner secret.
I know. I don't know why everyone gets so upset over the name thing. It's it's not your kid. Just be happy.
Right.
Yeah, people's opinions of a name that you choose is very frustrating. I remember when I was at working at a restaurant and I wanted to tell somebody my daughter's name when I was naming Elliot, and I'll never forget. They're like, "Oh, you can't name her Elliot. That's from E.T. the Elliot phone home Elliot. Or something." They'll make fun of her.
What? They who? Yeah, because most kids now born in 2020 whatever watch so much ET.
I know.
So maybe you'll make fun of her. And then maybe you'll make some reference my kid's never going to get. But it's fine.
This is why you keep it a secret, because you don't need opinions like that in the world. From coming from everywhere.
Right.
Like, I wanted to name Julian Joshua, and my cousin I didn't see for like a while. She came by like randomly, and I was like, "Oh, what do you think about Joshua?" She's like, "Ew, I don't like that name." And I was like, "Oh man,
ew, I don't like you. Right. You're now out of the family."
I was like, "You're from like my family. You're supposed to be on my side here." I was like,
right.
Cousin Deborah, that was not how this conversation was supposed to go. I was like,
exactly. And then like you have things too where like honoring people, like, like we like my wife's grandmother is Evelyn, and that her cousin was Eliana, so she already kind of used that as a reference, but she still loved her so much that she wanted to do that. And then we had all boys, so we were trying to figure out the names, and then Ethan was kind of honoring Evelyn. That's the only one of the kids that's like there's a reference to like the letter. And we went basic, man. Those are all like sort of like old biblical kind of names. They're not really like, just names that we kind of liked.
right.
We almost went for Thaddeus and we didn't, but
darn it. See, we
were going to announce it 5 minutes before yours. Like,
oh, that's great. That's great.
But, so the veto list. I know we talked a little bit about like names that spouses maybe said no to. We definitely have some moments where like things kind of come into play too, like, names of movies and characters and things like that. And then people have very specific things about like not wanting to name their kids certain things. But my wife, I remember initially she liked the name Sam, which is actually ended up becoming one of my nephews. So that worked out for them because they used the name. But for some reason, the way that she said it, she kept saying Sam. And I'm like, Samuel, and we were laughing because it was like almost like it sounded like something out of Lord of the Rings the way she was saying it. So to this day, whenever she says it, I'm like, I have to I almost would have to stop myself from talking because it just sounds so funny to me. Like, the next thing in my mouth is asking her if she's gonna have lembas bread, but it's it's funny to have like there's certain names you're like, no, I don't like that one, it's not good for us.
Yeah.
Or just there's names that obviously like you have things that you experience when you're younger. My wife really liked the name Isabella. I didn't have the heart to tell her that there was this band in college named Isabella's Gift, which unfortunately was a reference to an STD. It was like this punk band. And I was like, I know. And I'm like,
ruined.
There's no way that this kid could ever be named Isabella. So I didn't have the heart to tell her because I was kind of danced around the issue. But I'm like, we cannot do that, But it's crazy, I mean, like, there's definitely ways that you try to not offend your spouse as they're like 7 months pregnant trying to come up with a name, but it's tricky. But one of the things that we wanted to do is kind of take a look at maybe some different names and things that are floating around by year and maybe by once we're at the top of the century. We thought it'd be kind of fun to kind of talk about that and maybe some maps.
Okay, so here we are. We're like, let's look up some like popular names. And in my Googling, I found this Mental Floss article about like popular names, but by like states and generations. So, and what made me really like this, the first thing is the first map that they show is all the Jacobs that apparently have taken over like more than half the country.
That's wild.
Isn't that crazy?
That is not. Why is that? I don't even know.
I don't know. Like, it's not popular in New York, so he's unique.
Yeah,
but
say New York. Well, it's crazy.
Like in
I always knew there were a lot of mics in New York.
Yeah. And then tons of mics in New York. And then there's in Hawaii.
Small ones.
There's
exactly.
a little Noah.
Yeah.
There's a little Noah. Look at that. Is no Ethan? Let's see. We gotta keep
looking. You know
what
what that means? That means you have to take Noah to Hawaii.
Oh, I know. They'd be like, my people.
Oh man.
Like you say no and everybody turns around.
The island of the Noahs.
That's it. All by himself.
Love it. Okay,
and then if you go down, there's also a few ones of popular Gen Alpha names in every state.
Yes.
You see that?
I see that. Okay, so then let's see. In every state, so by boy name, Liam's very popular. Look at that.
So that was babies born between 2013 and 2023.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense. And then look, there's Noah in Illinois as well, and Noah in Maryland.
Look at Henry in Minnesota. He's just like flying solo.
Oh man, I guess so. I guess that's a very like rustic name, you know.
But look, Olivia and Emma were big, right? Olivia, Emma. Oh, there's Sophia in New Mexico, and Nevada.
Sophia's in New Mexico. Oh, hey, look
spicy.
At that. But Olivia was. I did like Olivia. That was a name I was going to choose, but that was 2009 for Sophia. Oh, Charlotte's popular.
Oh, and Ava sweeps the entire like southern coast of the southern part of the United States from Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, West Virginia. That's crazy.
That is crazy. Okay, let's see what's next.
I
like this like map thing.
This is entertaining. We hope the listeners. We hope you're entertained by this too.
Yes. So then here's like the most popular Gen Z names in every state. So
to clarify, what are the years for that?
1997 to 2012.
Okay, so
that's where the Jacobs.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the map in the beginning of the article, like where it like swept the nation. So in 2000, when was Jacob born?
Jacob was 2012.
Oh, so during this
wow,
time.
so we got the tail end of that. Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, look at how many Emilys and Madisons there are.
I was just saying, look at the girl's name. Okay, Emily Madison's. Oh, this would have been Sophia's generation. No Sophia's. Oh, hey, look at that.
Look at that. And then I guess like Hannah Montana was happening in South Dakota.
Oh, right. Maybe that was.
Maybe they were like, oh, this is a good show.
Party in the USA.
Hey. Oh, this is great.
Okay. All right, then millennial names. So this 1981 to 1996. Surprising, Michael.
Oh wow! No, but that's funny too because I was born in '79. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's like that's like almost like saying like yeah.
Well, this Michael was born in the '80s.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at that.
Yeah. Wow. It's like there were three choices in that time period. What happened there?
Michael, Christopher. Oh no, there's a Matthew. Yeah. Let's see. For girl names is Jessica.
That is insane. How much Jessica's going on there?
Like the whole country is.
And then Ashley has like 4 states, right?
I was just about to say, it's probably easier to say which names were not Jessica. So in Vermont was Sarah with an H. In Kentucky, Kentucky, Tennessee, North Carolinas, and Arkansas, and Louisiana was Ashley. Other than that, Jessica swept the nation between 1981 to 1996.
That is really something.
That's bananas.
And then if you go down a little bit more, look at this, how most popular names have changed over the generations. Those are kind of interesting too. If you look at those for the girls and boys.
Okay, let's see. How have they switched? Okay, so 1965 to 1980, the Gen X names are you looking at?
Yeah, it says the most popular names in where is it here? It says how the most popular names have changed over the generations. It's a little bit lower. And then there's like a boy and a girl one. Just
to let you know, from 1965 to 1980, Michael swept the nation as well.
I mean, this is why I wanted to go with Michael in the beginning. You know, I'm telling you.
See? Oh,
it's number one.
Could have been
all the time.
So Michael was ranked number 1 for millennials and Gen X. Yes. And then Gen Z's is Jacob and Liam for Gen Alpha. That's the boy names.
Yeah, and it just dropped.
Ethan.
Oh, there he is. Where's Ethan? Oh, 10.
10. Gen Alpha. Look at that.
Nice.
All your kids are represented. How nice.
I know they're like the most like, you know, they're like definitely like, you know, names that are like very common. Like any biblical names. I say that we're not really like super religious, but biblical names are the ones that are typically like you hear a lot of. They're just like, you know, the names that always
you open that big
around.
Book and you look around.
The big old book.
You're just looking at everything.
You're like, I have another big book of names you can look into.
Biblical.
Yes.
And then the girl names, let's see. Millennials, Jessica swept the nation. Let's see. We got Sophia's, Ava's. Oh man, what about like the 9 like gender neutral names for the Missy Elliott?
This website doesn't have that, right?
Where's my Missy Elliott?
Where's Missy Elliott?
No, there's Hannah again. Hannah.
All right.
This has been interesting. It's been kind of fun to kind of peek around.
That was fun looking at the maps.
Right? Well,
different,
but obviously like things that do occur, like we could take guesses, but like, and sometimes it's more obvious than others. Like, like Marvel, when Wolverine and Logan, that was like obviously very big when, especially the Logan movie and everything else. Game of Thrones went a little, nutter butter with, there were probably a lot of Daenerys running around.
Yes.
And then like, we laugh about this because like, there's moments where like, obviously like, we saw the Notebook, Sons of Anarchy, True Blood, Lost. There were things where like people were naming characters as the show was in its like progression.
Oh yeah.
Like what happens if a character goes south in the middle of the season?
Like Daenerys. Like she was so strong.
Yeah. I remember when we named Jacob, like it wasn't for the reason of the show, but I loved Lost. And I'm like, Jacob was a really good character. Jacob was like true to his, he was like the righteous one of the island. And I'm like, this is good. I never tell my wife, and I'm like, I agree. Jacob's a great name, but you're right. Like what did you say was, which character did you say? Like
Daenerys.
Yeah, oh yeah. Like all of a sudden she's great. She's freeing people. Then she's like bending the knee.
Yeah. Strong leader, rebellious, love it. And then also she's like crazy town.
Bad things going on, hanging out with her nephew. Just nothing good.
Right.
It's just so hard to pick a name. You go back and forth. You're just, there's battles, there's secrecies, there's like, it's tough. And you just want it to be the best name, right? You just want your kid to have like the strongest, best name. I don't know. It's just so hard, but you get through it.
Sounds like a Game of
Mike
Thrones
Levine just wants
right
you to
there.
know, always name after Michael.
When in doubt, Michael.
It's been number one for generations.
What we came about today is that go with what makes you happy, talk to your spouse, and then don't say anything until the baby is born.
Yes.
And post on Facebook
and even
early.
when you don't say anything, sometimes people name it exactly the same as yours.
What a quinky dink.
All of a sudden you're like, we actually did a name change like years later. We changed our last name to Levine. You'd be like, all right, that's it. Lock the doors. All right. So now it's time for us to shift on over to the next part of our show. It is called Time to Unplug. This is where we talk about things that are going on outside of the children and naming the children, because sometimes we just have to have something for ourselves and with our spouses. It gives us a chance to decompress because you'll be a better we if you take care of me. Sarah D, time for you.
What's up? So I have we have not finished this new season of Alice in Borderland. It's on Netflix, but it's such a good show. It's a Japanese based TV series. It gives like Squid Game vibes. We kind of like stumbled upon it a couple of years back, and then we started watching. So we've been really excited to watch the new season. And so far it has not disappointed because there are definitely some twists and turns I was not expecting. So definitely watch.
Ooh, cool. It's funny because every time I see Borderland, I think of the video game that Mike plays.
Nice.
And I'm like, is this about Borderland? It's not. It's something completely
different. Yeah, it's good.
All right, I'll have to check it out. It's on Netflix? All right, cool. Mike Levine, something about to happen with something about to get cheesy.
Yeah, so Taylor and I had another date night this weekend. It was impromptu. It was lucky. My in-laws were like, oh, you want us to take the kids tonight? And it was late. It was like 8 o'clock. We're like, yeah, sure. And then Taylor and I wound up going to our local Chili's. And one thing I've always wondered why, I hate it actually, that Chili's had these nachos where they kind of just layer it on a chip, like everything on a chip. And then... you have like 10 nachos only. And I like nachos like the regular way, where it's just a bunch of chips with like cheese and all the goodness on top. So we went to there and we saw this new menu. They had these Chili's nachos, and I had to talk about it because this is like what I've been wanting for years at our local comfort spot. It's just regular nachos. So they were okay. I mean, I thought they could be a little bit better because they just, I don't know, they didn't layer them right. I'm like a nacho connoisseur.
I love a good nacho.
You know what? When you dig in and you grab a chip that has nothing on it, and then the one next to it is about to break because there's too much stuff on it, there was a layering problem.
But that's your support chip then. That's like for structural integrity.
Emotional support chip.
That's perfect.
Oh man, we were still doing the Food and Fury podcast. That would have definitely been a great name for an episode.
Basically, what I'm trying to say is go to Chili's and get some nice new nachos because they were pretty yummy still, regardless, even though they weren't layered properly.
Maybe go back there and teach them a thing or two.
Is there one choice? Like, is there one on the menu?
One flavor?
Yeah, they actually got rid of the other nachos, which the bartender was telling us people are like super upset about because they really like them. I'm like, I didn't even know people ordered them.
I like those. Those are good. Yeah, it was like
that was
dedicated.
Oh, okay. So yeah, they were not my type of nacho. Right. No, not at all.
Nacho, yours. Sorry.
Glad. Nacho.
Nacho problem, buddy.
Right. What about you, Mike? What do you got going on this week?
Okay, so by the way, last episode, Mike Levine rolls onto the episode. First few minutes, he's like, "Yeah, my stomach hurts," and we're like, "What happened?" He's like, "Oh, I went to Applebee's last night." And now he's telling this story, and I'm like, I just went in and texted him. I'm like, "Did you learn nothing from last week?"
He was on the edge.
I know. I love it. You know what?
Game.
You get knocked down 6 times, get up 7. You know, he's not messing around. I love it.
Chumbawamba.
Exactly.
Always learn from Chumbawamba. All right, so this week I really wasn't going to do this, but I did. I say these things to myself all the time. I had a Quest 2, Meta Quest 2, Oculus 2, whatever, and it was really cool. I really liked it a lot. And the biggest frustration that I had with the VR headset was that there was no way, really. I mean, obviously, I had a thing where, like, if something you were getting close to the edge of where you're supposed to stand, like the cameras would turn on, you see like a little like fancy thing, and you'd see like outside of the headset. But like, truth of the matter is, like, you're kind of in your own little space, and it isn't so great when you don't live by yourself. You live with other people. There's things around, and there's tripping hazards. So Quest 3 came out. And at the time, it was announced, and people that had a Quest 2 headset were like, "Oh, maybe we could trade these in and get like a little bit of a discount or whatever." And it was no loyalty program or anything else. They're very expensive. But the really cool thing about the Quest 3 was that they did this mixed reality thing where you could like play games or do things, but you could also see like the room that's around you. And to me, that was the missing piece, because there's nothing great about tripping over things or banging into things or like a dog running by, whatever else. I don't have one, so a dog ran by would be in some serious trouble. But the thing is about this headset was that it was really enticing, but it's very expensive. So a couple weeks ago, there was a thing for Meta was selling their headsets on eBay, their official ones. They were refurbished with a 2-year warranty and a 30-day return. And I'm like, all right, now we're getting somewhere. And it was a good deal. So I did pick it up, and I'll tell you, I think they're really awesome. It's fun. It gets me off my butt a little bit. There's these games like Beat Saber and games that are like, rhythm games and stuff. They're kind of fun to kind of, listen to some music on. You can kind of mod them a little bit. So after listening to Wednesday, for some reason, I had the Dead Can Dance song from Lady Gaga that was been in my head nonstop. It's like, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it basically sounds like her ode to Thriller. Good song. So anyway, I was like, all right, I'm going to find a way to get this headset working. I'm going to mod it. I'm going to throw in that song on the side, load it, and it is awesome. So I'm having a lot of fun with that. Synth Riders is cool. It's another game that's similar. Mike and I used to play this game that was called Ragnarok, like Ragnarok, Ragnarok. And you would be on a Viking ship, and it would be like Guitar Hero, and you would have to like hit like drums on a Viking ship. But it sounds ridiculous because it is. But the thing that was great about it was there were these like arena rock European songs. They were so over the top, and we'd be jamming out and playing. So I will tell you that it's a lot of fun. I wouldn't pay full price. It's kind of expensive, but if it's something that you kind of dig, it's fun. You can play together. If 2 people have the headsets, there's 11 table tennis. There's golf games. There's silly games, but it's fun. I've really kind of digging it, and I'm kind of glad that I picked it up. The land of VR is good to kind of get you up and do things. So, but I do like the idea that you could kind of see the world around you as you're using it, which is something that I think was suffering for VR for a while. But they are moving towards AR glasses and things that you kind of just would wear as glasses. That's going to come out probably, in the next couple of years. But for now, this is really, really cool. And it gives a chance of some entertainment and get you out of your seat.
Nice.
So,
nice, man.
Yeah, man. I know. Are you getting the itch? Do you get the itch to play again?
I am. You know what it is? That's the problem. Every time you and I talk about these things, you give me the itch, and like I can't shake it. I have to get it.
I know. But at least you can still play with your, the dogs are safely out of the way. You can still play with people Quest 2 and Quest 3 together. It's not like you're isolated, But I feel like it's time to what was this song, Mexico? And what was the other one? Do you remember? It was like on Ragnarok. It was like I don't remember what it was.
I don't know. All I remember is all those songs were awesome. I loved them, and we were just having a great time jamming out.
Right? Like, man. And Beat Saber, come on. It's like speaking Mike Levine's love language. You get like a lightsaber in your left hand, a lightsaber in your right hand, and then you have to like hit blocks to the rhythm. You know what?
Yeah.
But this isn't a show about VR. It's a show about parenting. So I think we're just about out of time. It's been so much fun hanging out with Sarah and Mike as we discuss the trials and tribulations of naming your child, whether there be a Star Wars reference or a name you just liked or a character that is from Lost you never even know. But we'll just take a moment to thank our listeners and supporters for donating to the show. If you want to support this show so we can keep making episodes like this one, we have a link to donate in the show notes. If you don't have the means to do so, we really appreciate you tell your friends, your family about this podcast so we can reach more listeners. Maybe we can learn from them and can learn from us in this growing community. And if you get a chance, please leave us a review at Apple Podcasts or Spotify. This way other people can find the podcast. We can't wait to explore this parenting thing again with you next week on Hey the Parents, because every week is an honest discussion about raising kids. Don't forget to hug your kids and charge those Chromebooks. That's going to do it for me, for Mike, and for Sarah, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.
Peace. Bye-bye. Hey the Parents, produced by Mike Levine, Sarah Desirines, and me, Michael Haidt. I edit and mix our show. Our intro voice recording was done by the one and only Coltrane. If you like our show, we hope you consider going to the show notes and help support the podcast. Check the show notes for social media information and contacts, and we look forward to seeing you next time.